So moved.
Motion by Mr. Warner, second by Mr. Goggins, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Discussion possible motion, construction manager and owner's representative discussion, update from community architect.
Good evening. In front of you is a packet, and I'll go through it from each page and kind of reference the bottom right as the number of what I go through. Been working with the group on a couple meetings and going through. We're not exactly there on exact plan layout, but the box is pretty much defined. And as I go through that, I can kind of highlight kind of where we're still working and what we're. But bottom line is the footprint we feel is kind of set of the overall master plan of the building. The sheet A101 that you're looking in front is orienting the building in the east-west position, just south of the existing facility, just north of the scale. So this position allows the scale to still work, kind of build and leave the building in place, and plus have room if we still want to slide the building east or west yet, or leave future expansion. So all that's kind of still been playing around with. I'm gonna go through each slide and then I'll come back and we'll go through each detail of each little area, kind of how we work through it. Yes, and like I said, the placement isn't, we're still kind of studying what pieces, so that this is one orientation to see if it would fit in the north-south position. The red is what would be the kind of the office entity. The green is the vehicle parking area. Orange is the fleet repair. Yellow is shop related, and then blue is the wash bay. So just kind of highlighting colors as we go through. This again here would fit. There's pros and cons, but like I said, still working with Bill and staff. We're getting to where it needs to be. As the green relates to what was put out in the RFP, if you remember, we kind of talked last time, had a 24,000 square foot footprint for the green. As you know, we're master planning the whole facility. The green is laying out right about 33,000 square feet. So to get the vehicles in that should be called to be in the building, we're getting about 33,000 square feet. So right off the bat, we're going from that 24 to the 33,000. So that's good and bad, but regardless, you can see primarily all the plow trucks would be favoring one side. They're the longest stalls that are needed. The one kind of turning in, moving on the left, that's a future need. So right now there's space for a future plow vehicle in this layout. And then the rest of the spots are allocated for other assets that are part of the program. They're not showing a vehicle in there today, but there are spots. Every spot in this plan is taken. Okay, so just because there's not a spot or a truck shown, it's pretty much we're studying the biggest truck right now, but every spot that you see is taken. The way it's laid out, and I'm going to start with the orange. The orange mainly feeds from the north, so you have 5 garage doors feeding from the north that go in the repair bay. The far left bay, which is what we're going to call a fab bay, that would also act as almost like a quick service bay. It could act like a vehicle could come straight through there, or on a wrecker could come straight through there, or it could come through the other two that have a straight pull through. If you need to use any of the bottom pull through doors, you're moving vehicles that do it. But most of the time during the day, those are vehicles, assets that are out in the field anyways, so there wouldn't be something parked there. Then you have 3 bays in a row that are all heavy related to bays. So from front to back, that's going to be essentially a plow truck or a grader, something that's going to take that entire distance. The right bay is really stacked for 2 smaller vehicles, pickup, sedans, things like that. You could get actually 2 vehicles in there. So if you look at your plan, A203, you'll actually see phase 1 and 2 noted there. That's basically how we're noting that 2 work tasks can be done in those bays on smaller vehicles, or if it need be, it could be a larger vehicle, but pretty much it would be outfitted for smaller vehicles. Couple things to note on this plan: the green that's in the upper left next to the blue, that's gonna go away. As we talked a little bit more with staff and Bill, we need more room in the fab area, in a couple other areas, so that space probably will go away and be incorporated into either the yellow or the orange. Sign shop, the yellows pretty much gives us also a drive-through bay, so if the sign truck is in there with a trailer, we can still pull through there. Also a secondary door for just loading materials, but that would take all the sign material, sign vehicle, and house it in one spot. Wash bay, right now that's a dedicated wash, one plow truck could get in there. Other wash could happen out in the bay, in the green. So if we just build the green for now, you still have wash capabilities in the actual green parking bay. So we'd make sure that the bay is ventilated properly so you can do that wash out in the green parking bay. The study of the wash bay is whether we do like any form of automated or for sure an under chassis wash, things like that. What all gets incorporated in there, we're still kind of working on.
Looks like this is taking a place in the old building.
Yeah, so master plan, this is taking, correct. And then we're gonna step back, and if we just build the green, then you know where other things need to go eventually when you build the other pieces of the building.
Okay, I see, okay.
So this is, as we talked, total master planning it, so you know later on, if you do the red, the orange, the yellow, or you know exactly structurally where they go and movement where they go.
Gotcha.
Yep. The red really is the big thing that's still up in the open of where things position. Square footage wise, we think we're there, but it's still, there's a lot of movement we need to do after meeting that we still need to tweak that. The bottom line is the square footage and the kind of the placement where it would be is there. The red is about a little over 50, right around 5,600 square feet. Any questions before I go back and then go into specific details, why, what, and where things?
So, this whole section, the future, is what, roughly 16,000 square feet?
Correct,
give or
yep,
take?
yep.
Okay.
Yep, so really, master plan, we want, like we said, we wanna make sure we're there. Trying to get, eventually everybody's we'll take this and just dissect it where we're at with square footage as it relates to cost, knowing we went from 24,000 to 33,000, you know, to see where we fit into that original budget that was put. And then to see if there's any traction of, do we go beyond that for bidding, just so you know, or do we clearly know, you know, we're stopping at the green and not going any farther? I think at some point we gotta just make that determination.
So is this gonna be, this wash bay and then this area right here, is that gonna be part of the first?
No, so
So where's the wash bay gonna go?
it will be just within the parking stall bays if we do it in phase 1. Which you're gonna do no matter what, cause during an event, you're washing out, you need more bays to wash in, so you'd be washing in the green no matter what.
Gotcha.
This bay is really more heavily detailed, like if you were going to really detail a vehicle, you could pull it in there and do it. Pretty much each one of these bays would have access to water and high pressure that you'd need to do it out in the green parking bay.
So the first phase is gonna be basically like across
Yep,
here.
straight across that line, yep, yep. He's referencing right here. Yep. But at least we wanna plan out if it's ever a future phase where garage doors go, so things can be removed, so whatever construction you do, whether it's masonry, block, metal, whatever, that it's structurally opened, ready to go for an opening. And as I mentioned, the green piece that's up to the right of the blue, that'll go away anyways, cause that needs to get incorporated into other square footages in the yellow and the orange. That was really kind of put on there to pull like a truck trailer in there and then park it in that lane, but we have plenty of width in the drive aisle. We have 24-foot drive aisle that they could pull truck trailer if they wanted to at night, to pull it into the drive aisle and not block it. You could still get around the vehicle.
What are the actual dimensions
The length is lost. Oh. 361. By 88. There's inches on there too.
Yeah.
Just to give you essentially a box.
What is the square footage of the parts room with the second phase in comparison to what our existing parts room is?
Yeah, that's one of the deficiencies that staff pointed out today, so that will be changing.
That'll be getting.
That'll get bigger, yep,
Okay.
yep.
That is-
That was between that and the bulk and the storage, I think we're looking at about, 14, 13? Yep, square feet.
Those garage doors on the section, north side or whichever side, will those go in there at the beginning, or garage doors actually put in later if we?
You'd put them in later. My
Later
guess is
this
you'd
year.
put them in later, just structurally, you'd make sure that hole is ready for it. Now, if we feel certain ones are help for movement, then you'd put them in right away. But good chance they were just, structurally, we just have it set up so they could go in the future.
Figure one door on each end is gonna be enough then, huh?
Yeah, and that might be why you need to do one door, so if one door goes down, you've got an emergency exit to get in and out, instead of having to try to do a loop in the facility.
These are all parking stalls here too,
Yes,
and these two.
yep, and like I said, those,
So my question here
Yep.
is, are we trying to get every ounce of equipment, trucks, snowplow trucks under the same cover?
we're trying to get all the vehicles that should be in warm. There's still assets that are in the cold storage building.
How many of these are set for pickups?
Yep, Bill.
Right now, we looked at it, we're trying to get the plow truck, all the plow trucks inside.
No?
We're trying to get about 4 to 5, other trucks or larger trucks that typically you're using them all the time. So in the winter time, you want your sign truck, you want your distributor for certain things in that, so we're trying to set up those 4 or 5 bays or so for those. Pickup trucks, they got, what do you have, 18, 17, 18, 19, so we're not putting all the pickup trucks in either. We got about 12, 13 bays for pickup trucks, where you're short, some, but because of the in and outs of movement of trucks, we feel this is by the minimum of trying to get something that he building is the pickup trucks. You don't have any of your construction equipment in here, you don't have, so you're just trying to get those handful of pieces outside your plow trucks. Probably should be in the heated part of the building. Everything else, you have to go to another storage building, all your construction equipment, all your other trucks. Some of your pickup trucks won't fit in here either, so we're just trying to do the minimum, what should probably go in the heated storage part of the building.
And we can share that asset list that we kind of put together to see what bare minimum should go in here and what is gonna stay out in other, other facility areas or outside.
Yeah, how many of them other buildings out back can you store stuff in? Reduce it up to, well, this building just seems pretty complete.
Well, anything that houses a plow truck will be vacated. Any of the existing buildings that currently houses a plow truck will be vacated once this gets.
Right, and that was the train of thought, is we housed a lot of them plows on other stuff in the other buildings that would be vacated.
That means to have a little more space for
Yeah, I think right now, what you would do is,
I'm not looking behind me, because they want everything under the sun right now, so I'm not looking behind me, we're looking at this from a county standpoint.
Right.
Yep, I guess I just wanna be clear, what I did is I took all the assets and did a master plan. We're not coming here tonight saying this is what we're building today. All we wanna do is make sure we build the master plan, and then we cut back to what gets built. So I just wanna make sure that I wasn't coming off like I was presenting this to be built. I think our goal is to see what we need, if we did wanna build a whole new building, what we need, and then we back up from there. Currently, I think most of the plows are parked in that part of the, right?
Correct.
And I think what we can do is, when we decide what part of the master plan gets built, if it's just the green, a third of the green, two, whatever it is, then we can depict where it goes in where we move the plow trucks out of.
And a lot of that will depend on which buildings we decide to actually keep, or if some have to be torn down in the future,
Yeah, I think
if we have enough storage.
walking through them, I mean, it's pretty much, I think there's pretty clear signs which ones should come down. I think, I don't think anybody's looking to knock down any assets that's not ready to come down.
I mean, I agree with 100% as far as having a snow plow truck handy, with plows on it and go. This unhooking and hooking is for the birds. So I don't have any qualms as far as housing any of the plow trucks, because they're important. As much as they cost these days.
Yeah.
How many pickup trucks you got?
19-ish?
Yeah, you all drive them at once?
These diagonal spaces here. Excuse me, they could also have pickup trucks, correct?
Yeah,
You said that every spot already had a home.
oh yeah,
I mean, or something had a home here. What is being envisioned to park here right now? What type?
I didn't print that list. I guess to me it's other rolling assets, not all the pickups.
So
I didn't print
these
that.
other diagonals was for pickup parking then?
The diagonals?
Yeah.
Tack truck, bucket truck, sign truck, what else we got?
Yeah, it's like loaders, like other construction equipment that, the plows were like with the wing and with everything on, it was like a 42-foot piece.
Yeah.
They wouldn't fit in that, so that, there was other assets that didn't have that length that had to go in there.
Okay. So then these smaller ones?
Everything in front of the red, I'll call it, were sized more for service of pickup trucks.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll clearly put those on there in the vehicle numbers, and then you guys can see the vehicle list, and you'll also see which ones aren't in here too.
On a previous drawing, we had plow trucks kind of on both sides. I think the building was quite a bit shorter too.
Correct.
But we got it stretched out now, I guess, to just a bit more vehicles.
Well, it's to also make efficient for the future need. But I think either way, if it's a more of a rectangle, your square footage is gonna be the same number of units you have. Now, if you totally delete every other vehicle out of it, then you could take half of the 18 and put 9 and 9 and 9 and.
Then you'd be losing
Well,
to get other stuff in there.
I would agree 100%, and you just, I don't think the green is the most cost-effective thing to build on this whole piece. So, to me, we really wanna study where those walls go, because if you build it, 100 by 200, the mechanical equipment that's gonna go in there is probably gonna be the same as if it's 100 by 240. So we'd really wanna study to make sure you get the max, you know what I mean, piece out of there. Like I said, that's the most the cheapest, not the cheapest, but you get what I'm saying, the least expensive avenue of the whole project is the green.
So this green area, is that, excuse me, is that, that fall within the price that you quoted us?
I didn't quote a price,
I thought we got a
So-
bid.
yeah, so what I,
We did get an estimate of some sort.
no,
Yeah.
no, what was
That was just what we were gonna spend. I
yeah,
guess.
so what was given in the RFP
Yeah.
was 24,000 square feet in a dollar amount. I forget the dollar amount, what I said is, your dollar amount looked good for 24,000 square feet.
Right.
Yeah,
So, okay. that's
So-
what-
so what I'm telling you is, 7 million, in my opinion, easily got you the 24,000 square feet. Those are numbers that were provided to all the bidders. So, knowing that, the committee, are we stuck on working at the 7 million and work towards what the square footage could be? Or are we working towards the 24, you know what I mean, I guess,
So, I mean, this plan is actually almost 10,000 square feet more than the 24,000 square feet.
Right, and I think when we started this venture, it was thrown out at 7 million, it's kind of where we were gonna stop.
mhm.
And we don't have any more wiggle room to go above that. So, again, I guess I'm gonna say this, are we wasting each other's time by sitting here talking about 33 million, or 33,000 square feet versus the 24 we started with at $7 million price tag?
I'd like to take it back and look at, if my direction tonight is to go back and say, make sure we can do what we can do for $7 million, I can go back and look at it. What I did this last few weeks with exercise is to just come back, the master plan, now we dissect it back to what you want. If you wanna tell me to go back and we wanna spend 4 million, very much,
Well, and again, I almost feel like this meeting, I get your master plan here.
yeah,
But I almost feel like I'm sitting here looking at something that I didn't even ask for yet. I really wanted to see
oh,
the 24,000 square foot building at $7 million price tag.
okay,
I mean, that's what we need to be at.
okay, I apologize, I strictly gave the direction of what I normally do to do a master plan at last meeting, and that's what I came back with it. I'd be happy to, this is paper, right?
And I don't know where the
And this is-
miscommunication
so-
came from or whatever, but
Yeah.
at 33,000 square feet, there's no way. I can tell you that's gonna be way more than 7 million mark, am I correct?
I don't wanna say that.
No, that's what you
Yeah.
should kind of look at.
Yeah, I'll be happy,
If you can get it for
Yeah.
7 million,
Yeah.
33,000.
Right,
You
or
don't wanna
any,
limit us
or any
at the
amount under
beginning.
that, between
Yeah.
24 and
yeah,
33.
I have no problem.
I'm fine with that, but I'm telling you, right there's the price tag.
Sure, no problem.
We don't have, I mean, we get beaten up enough already now.
Yeah.
Just looking at 7 million,
Okay,
so we need to stay in the budget.
yep, no problem. So I'll just present some things so I know to present them or not present them. So say it's 7.1 million to get all the green to work, and that saves the county $500,000 over 6 years. Do you want me to come with those type of things, or I don't wanna come back with anything ever than what you want. So if you say, John, I told you 7 million, don't come back here with anything that's over 7, I'm gonna do that, and I won't even bring up any other avenues.
I won't say we wouldn't be open to
Okay.
options.
Okay, then I'll lay out different options so you can see, cause sometimes you're almost there, but I hate to keep saying, yep, we gotta move that wall in 6 feet to save that. And you just lost efficiencies for life of the building.
Right.
I don't wanna do that to you.
And construction material moves up and down, we
Yep.
get all that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you
Okay.
can go one way or the other, I don't think we'd be open for options,
Perfect, okay,
by all means.
Yeah.
But I don't want to waste it out.
Yep.
And put it on the table.
Yep.
And this is where we're at.
Perfect. I'm good.
Everybody else in the same consensus?
Yeah, I don't wanna end up the way you did with the other project. Told them we wanted something in the 25 million range, and the best they could come back with was like 32.
Yeah, you won't get that with me. You tell me 7 million, you're gonna get $7 million, what you can build.
But, you know, again, you, obviously you're gonna work for us and get us the biggest building for that price.
Oh,
as
yeah,
possible.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I get that.
Can I say one comment? I mean, my other comment is, and it's all up to the board and committee, whatever they wanna do. You wanna make sure you get it right, though, I hope you're thinking about that too, cause I don't, where the 24,000 square foot came from, I have no idea. Because when I first came here, I looked at that too and thought maybe that was undersized for what you're trying to get out of this part of the building, you're gonna build for the next 75 or 100 years. And I talked to Justin about that first time I looked at the plan, didn't seem like you're getting the things in that key part of the building you wanna get in there. So whoever developed that first 24,000 square feet, I think may have been not the right number, not that it matters here, if that's all you can build, that's all the money you have to do is 20,000 or 22,000 or 25,000 or whatever it is, that's all the money you have, and I think they just wanted to throw it out there, that's kind of one of the first things I saw when I looked at the initial layout, is I thought, seems like you're not getting, you know, a few of these blockers, a few of the things in here you might wanna have in that building, but I just wanna throw that out there, it's just,
Yeah, I think the good thing is the $7 million was put to the 24, because I think we can get closer to what we want for the 7 million.
It's a starting point.
Yeah.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Again, Tom really said, we've been down this road now on another project for 2
Mhm.
years and change, and we keep digging around.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have time for that.
No. Nobody does, and nor is it necessary. I understand the point. You will, our next presentation will be the $7 million project. And we have a master plan here. I'm still gonna build it off the master plan, so the
Yeah.
county in 10 years, if they wanna build X, Y, and Z,
Absolutely,
it fits in there, you don't spend extra money doing it.
absolutely.
And then,
Hopefully it'll be bigger than one of those pieces.
what's that?
I said, hopefully it will be bigger than like one of those apps.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What do you found?
Well, I'm just wondering, could an approach be that maybe the committee works with our highway staff and asks the highway staff what's a priority to be in the heated building, okay? And if their priority list was the 33,000 square feet, then I think you guys need to go through and cross off what you are going to sacrifice to cold storage.
I'm already on that project.
Okay, but I think we're missing the list. So, we just spent how much, Justin, on what did we just buy, a loader? What did we buy last year?
Over dump trucks, we got
Right, okay, so like,
$1 million right there.
right, so you guys will have to weigh then what you want to kick out of the heated
yeah,
storage.
we have no, Jeff and I have been working on this and talking to these guys here, we have no problem doing that too. If it comes to, you say, this is all we got, if John comes back and says, I could do this, I could do 28,000 or whatever like that, we have no problem going through that list and saying, okay, let's whack this out, let's whack out that, let's whack that, what I think, and I think, we know the priorities, what really, these guys know what the work is, what is, you know, higher priority to keep stuff inside the heat part of the building, so, it just comes down to get a number, but there's a number and a cap, that's all it is. We'll get as much as we can out of it, we'll have to prioritize that then too, so.
Well, I'd be first say, I got 100-foot shed and I can't get everything I want in it. So I sacrifice what needs to stay outside, so it happens. Either there, build another shed, well, that ain't happening.
So I got good direction. I think we'll get the list, we'll work, you know, like I said, they worked hard on the list of, I know there's plenty of vehicles on. What we will do is we'll show all those vehicles that didn't go in the green, where they're at in the other existing buildings, just so it's clear that that whole asset list of the county is not in this green anyways. I think that's good for everybody to see. And then we'll just depict on the site which buildings they're in and how they fit in those buildings.
Do all of these trucks actually have to be staggered this way, or can we leave it?
No, they can be staggered that way, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and I'm not saying trying to shorten the building up, but my main concern is trying to get all the plow trucks under cover,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Is that a fair statement, especially for the winter time? To get all the plow trucks under the cover?
Yeah, sure.
Without detaching and all that bullshit with the plows, right?
Right.
Okay, cause it's worse to work in the cold weather to do shit than it is in the summer. I think everybody can agree with that. in new loaders and stuff of that nature, to try and get undercover. As we replace this new equipment, we are gonna have to start putting on equipment.
You're saying that something has to be in cold storage, you're better off with pickups, I guess,
Right,
plow trucks or machinery.
at least the gas trucks. The diesel trucks, you know, probably should have the side, but, what brand it is. That help you any?
Perfect.
Sorry.
No, there's no sorry, to me, this is a working, we're not building anything tomorrow. And-
I get a little boisterous,
No, we did the master plan, there's no farther we need to go with any red, orange, or yellow. We'll just table it, and we'll focus it on the green and how they relate to those square footages and go from there.
with the wash bay.
Yep,
How soon do you wanna get back together?
I think that 2-week schedule should be fine.
Like March 10th?
What works for you, John? Yeah, it would be sooner than March 10th.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Well, 24, no, 3rd?
Yeah.
Next Monday's the third.
Yeah.
So
It would
2
be
weeks
10th.
is the tenth.
2 weeks would be.
Oh, yes, okay, yeah, so then that's right. Oh, yeah, we only have 28 days. Yep, the 10th, if that works for committee,
What time?
same time, if that works.
So then,
Yeah.
I have another meeting at 6, so, which I cannot miss.
I don't see us being more than an hour again.
What?
Yeah, I don't, it won't be more than an hour. Yeah.
Do that for.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
I think the master plan looks good, I mean, you know, the whole
Yeah, the
layout.
master plan looks great, but everything in the future, I'm not disagreeing with that one bit.
Yep.
No, I think,
We
yeah.
need the starting point here first, before we can even think about here, but, you know, I understand what you're saying.
East-west, probably the most likely orientation of the
I think
building.
this is probably the best way to.
We haven't finalized like where we were gonna place it. Those two areas are probably the best spot to put it.
Okay.
Looking at the north-south,
Mhm.
we have to add some gravel in there to make it good ground.
On the south side.
Correct.
Let us study the green, because giving some direction what you gave tonight might change up that placard. Let us work with the staff and that and put together, yeah. There's pros and cons both ways, I think. Knowing that we are not, that we need to try to keep as much as we can accessible in all the we gotta make sure we study that well.
If you actually, utilities are much easier accessible here. For that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that.
But
Yeah, that one we're still digging into where to see what it's actually
oh, it's not real sure where the
Yeah,
lot line is.
well, cause it looks, some places you see it's close to that building. So where, that's still
Well,
up,
yeah, I suppose it depends on which one you read. right?
that's still up in there. So we've been looking at some old maps and some curves, trying to figure that
So what
out.
about back here?
That definitely comes around.
Is it coming out,
Oh, which you think is this?
So this is BJ Wood probably, or Seeds.
All right, are we good with that? Anybody got anything else to add, questions or whatnot?
Well, I think we're looking at what equipment you go in or not, or when you guys do your equipment listing. If you know in the future that we're gonna be getting some new stuff,
Into
that
the
should be
trucks,
taken
are they?
into, well, but some of that's just replacement. But if they're going to be needing new stuff or different types of equipment that we don't have now, I think, you know, that should go on the list to go in here. So like planning your, purchases for the next 5 years, you know, equipment purchases, or rather, are they new purchases or are they just replacements? If they're replacements, well, then you've already covered. Or if it's something new that we don't have right now, I mean, we should be thinking about that now.
Yeah, we'll work, I think the biggest thing is to know the plow trucks, cause other equipment can juggle seasonal, yeah, but we'll definitely,
That's kind of what I mean by that.
Yeah.
You juggle accordingly, to see.
yeah, and I think they've addressed a lot of that already to do that. I think it's just, I need to help show it where they're gonna go in the juggling times.
All right, anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Yeah, one thing to throw in there, just been thinking about it, somebody asked me about it, not with this project, this one looks good the way we got it so far, whatever. It's back on that jail project. We kinda dropped it cold turkey because the price tag was way too high, I mean, I realize that. I was just wondering if somebody had asked me about it too, is there anything we can do in the courthouse, jail part, whatever, just to show good faith, whatever, the input for the employees, to make any improvement there when we go ahead with this thing. Cause before we were talking about doing both of them at one point, but now we're back to this, which is good, cause we need it. I was just thinking, is there something we can check into, improvements or whatever to the courthouse / jail? At the same time, I mean, if we're gonna borrow $7 million, if we add a couple more million on it, then I can't say satisfy, but just to, look at improvements or something over there at the same time, just throwing it out there, cause I asked about it, so. I mean, we're the ad hoc construction committee for both projects, so I mean,
I know what the problem is, we don't have this on the agenda right now.
we don't want,
We don't have this on the agenda.
well, we don't, but it's still under the construction committee, so, I mean, it's something to think about. Well, we don't have to,
All I know is we talked about that in the past, and we actually had a study done about putting stuff out there,
right,
and it was,
So when you touch it,
But-
everything
yeah.
then has to come up to code,
yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it's grandfathered in now.
when you start it, you have
Yeah.
to
If
finish it,
if
yeah,
you do anything, it's gonna.
yeah, I understand.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Mm-hmm,
It has been discussed, that's why it's been in the past.
yeah, okay.
All right, anything else? Anybody? If not, next meeting date's been set, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Mr. Moore to adjourn, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right.
Opposed, same sign, we're adjourned.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
That would be you guys. That was so you can- I normally just tell you to grab the
Get out.
extra ones that don't, do what you want with it. It doesn't have any cost.
What can I do?
Maybe you should. Yeah.